Hey Embers, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 86 of my Harvest Moon Back to Nature slow playthrough. So we're starting on day 11 of Summer Year 3. This is of course our final summer of the playthrough. So we're going to start our morning routine as usual. We're going to grab a flower for Potpourri. Our child hasn't grown up yet, so hopefully that should be happening very soon. I'm going to check the weather. It is nice and sunny tomorrow. I didn't need to check the weather because it is a festival tomorrow. So tomorrow is our final tomato festival of the playthrough. Tomorrow the tomato festival will be held in the square from the morning. Come throw tomatoes to celebrate an abundant harvest. And as always, I haven't done any research to see if that is a legitimate festival in Japan or not. You'll have to let me know if you know. So nothing in the post box. And as per usual, we will be doing 5 days this episode, so the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th. So last episode, our horse randomly put himself back into the barn, so we're going to take him back out, the stable, sorry. And we're going to start with our first speed up of the episode, looking after all of the animals in the barn, of course. Now we start doing a couple of new things in this episode that we haven't done yet. So we are aiming to collect all of the fish prints. We're trying to get this playthrough to as close to 100% as possible, as you guys know. So one of the things that we start doing this episode is shipping fish, because for one of the fish prints we need 200 fish to be shipped. So that's one of the things we do in this episode. And another thing, which you'll see in a moment, is I am keeping all of the medium milks that we get from the cows here, because when our child grows up, one of the best ways to get their heart level to 100% is by giving them hot milk every day, much like we're giving Potpourri a flower every day. So I am collecting the medium milk at the moment. Maybe I'm not. I guess that starts tomorrow in game. So I guess I didn't start doing that on day 11, but you will see that possibly on day 12, I would say. So it is also a birthday today in game. Let's pop all these naughty animals back in the barn there, and I was just checking the heart levels to see how we're getting on. Nothing has grown in the hothouse just yet. So let's go ahead and grab the honey with the fish and into the chicken coop. And of course we now have 3 golden eggs, which is wonderful. So we're not going to keep an egg for the harvest goddess today. Let's move on to watering our crops. And none of these have grown in just yet either. So next up we're going to head back into the house. And we are going to grab a flower from the cabinet. It's not for Potpourri. It is for Basil, and it's Basil's birthday today, so let's head out and see if we can celebrate Basil's birthday for the final time this playthrough. So we're going to head over to his house. And Basil is of course Mary's father. He's a herbalist, and he is not in at the moment, so we're going to head back out. And there's a little bit of a jump cut here while I wait till 10:30. We got there at 10 to 10. And he is here. So let's go ahead and give him the flower. Happy birthday, Basil. Wow, what a surprise. Who told you it was my birthday? So I'm just a genius. I just know these things, Basil. So with that, we are heading out. We're not going back to the farm, so what are we going to end up doing? It is a Sunday, so the shop is closed, of course. So what we are going to do is head on over to the beach and get some fishing done. Because like I say, we do need to ship at least 200 fish for one of the fish prints to unlock, or for us to have the ability to fish and grab the print anyway. So another speed up here while we do a lot of fishing. Hopefully we can get some fish to ship, but it's not looking good. Again, we are going to have to utilise shipping some fish out of the pond, I think. Now, I'm not going to be keeping track necessarily during the episodes how many fish we've shipped, but I do have a little notebook where I keep track of everything to do with Harvest Moon, and in that notebook I have been keeping track of how many fish we've been shipping during these episodes. Not from the beginning, unfortunately, though, just starting from now. So we could have shipped 10 fish already, we could have shipped 20 fish already, we could have shipped 2 fish already. Unfortunately, I just don't know because I wasn't keeping track from the start of the playthrough. So we are acting as if we haven't shipped any fish before. And like I say, I won't be updating you every time, but just rest assured I do have a running total of how many fish I have shipped so far, starting from day 11 pretty much. So we're just going to wait here until probably 8:30. Again, I'm trying to see if a random event will happen, but I think unfortunately our threshold for that random event has passed, so I don't think we're going to see it. No, it hasn't happened just yet. Because we're in our 3rd year of summer, we've married Potpourri, I don't think that this event will quote-unquote unlock. So we may not see that random event, unfortunately, but it is an event to do with Kai. So back to the farm we go. And I don't think we managed to catch any fish during our time at the beach, so we are going to head to the pond. And I think this time we grab 10 fish out. We have 74 fish in there. And sort of the aim, what we're going to do is, all the fish in the pond, of course, are large fish. So I think we're going to ship as many large fish as we can from the pond and add small fish into the pond. And hopefully they will grow into large fish and potentially reproduce, but I think they only reproduce during the winter, don't quote me. So I'm not sure that that's going to be a viable option, but we'll see how we get on. So for now, we are going to ship 10 fish from the pond, like I say, so we should be left with 61 fish in the pond. I think that's right. And we need to get that total up to 200. Unfortunately, there's no way to track that in-game, so I am using a pen and paper to track that myself. But with that, I think that is the end of day 11 for us, so we're going to move swiftly on to day 12, which is, of course, the Tomato Festival. So this will be your 3rd time seeing this festival, if you've stuck with me from the very beginning. We have already won this festival. Oh, my voice just cracked then. We have already won this festival. Let's see if we can win it again. So we're going to check the weather for tomorrow. And it's nice and sunny. I think every day we've had in summer so far has been sunny, which is brilliant. Don't want to jinx it. We are trying to avoid that summer storm, of course. As I say, as you can see, it is the Tomato Festival. So let's go ahead and get all of our farm chores done, and then we'll head over to the festival. Nothing in the post box as always. I'm going to say hello to Binky the horse while we're here. And I think we're going to head into the chicken coop first. Of course, because it is a festival day, again, there's no need to keep an egg for the Harvest Goddess. As we are nearing the end of the playthrough, I don't think I'm going to be giving an egg to the Harvest Goddess as often as I have been doing during this playthrough. We are at sort of the final hurdle now, so I am speeding certain things up a little bit. But there's still, you know, plenty of episodes to go. But we are nearing the end a little bit now. So we've got the rest of summer, all of autumn, and of course the rest of winter, and a tiny bit of spring. So again, we are going to be shipping some fish, but I'm not going to be keeping track for you for how many we've shipped. Just know that I do have that running total. So we've watered everything, nothing has grown in just yet. Into the barn we go. Again, a big speed up here, looking after all of the animals. And this might be where I start collecting the medium milk as well. We've got some wool, which is good. Once again, I know I'm repeating myself if you watch all of the episodes, but just in case someone's coming in randomly, it is my personal goal to ship 200 of each item, which I think is going to be a struggle with the yarn and the wool. We have made that into yarn. So that might be one goal that we do fail on, but it wouldn't detract from the playthrough being 100% or as close to, because that's just a goal I made for myself. So we are still looking for a few animals here. But they're all sort of clustered together, as you can see, so it made it very, very difficult to look for everybody. I think we do get there in the end. So no, we haven't started collecting the medium milk just yet, but that is something that will be coming very, very soon. I think I spoke a little bit too soon. So let's get on with feeding everybody. And if you can hear any sort of chewing noises in the background, that is my bunny rabbit. She's currently munching on a blanket. She doesn't eat it, she just likes biting it. That's bunny rabbits in general for you though. So with that, we are going to head out to the Tomato Festival, and as always, I like to keep my commentary quite short for the festivals, because I like you to enjoy them as they are. So I'm not going to speak too much during this Tomato Festival. I'm not going to speak at all, actually. So I will get back to you when the Tomato Festival is over. Hope you enjoy our final Tomato Festival of the playthrough. I'll get back to you soon. And with that, the Tomato Festival is over. That's the last time we're going to see that. And I did win. Of course, I was on my wife's team. How could I not be? I think for all 3 years we've been on Potpourri's team. And that's not about to change now. So let's go ahead and do some fishing. And again, this bit is going to be sped up. And fingers crossed we can actually catch some fish. It's looking a bit unlikely at this stage, I'm not going to lie to you. Let's see how we get on. Oh, no, we did catch a fish. So let's have a look. So we caught 3 fish, actually, which is good. So what we're going to do is pop 1 in the pond and we're going to ship 2. We are still trying to keep the pond as stocked as we possibly can. So we're not going to go to the square. We're not going to go to the bin. So we're going to pop the rubbish in the cabinet for now. And we'll take that at a later date. And with that, we are going to head to bed and end off day 12. So moving on to day 13. Let's go ahead and do our normal routine. We'll check the weather. Again, it is going to be nice and sunny, lovely, and we are also going to watch the news and see what other festivals are coming up in summer. So the Cow Festival will be held on the 20th. If you raise cows, you can enter one in the contest, but remember the cow must be an adult and it can't be pregnant. So we are of course going to enter a cow into the Cow Festival, and you will see that next week. So nothing in the post. Let's go ahead and say hello to Binky and start our day off in the chicken coop with, of course, a speed up. Lovely stuff. We're just checking how much chicken feed we have, and we are doing pretty well. Again, we're not saving an egg for the Harvest Goddess. We're just going to get on and see how we get. We're going to get on and see how we get on. That sounds right, doesn't it? So nothing has grown in the hothouse just yet. Hopefully soon. Now on to watering everything on the farm. And these pumpkins haven't grown yet either. We do need to take some time at one point to weed everything as well. But for now, into the barn we go. We start the long process of sorting everybody out in the barn. This is hopefully where you see me collecting the medium milk as well. And we shouldn't really have medium milk for too long, actually. But yes, we are going to go ahead and keep the medium milk. So we're going to turn all the large milk into cheese. We're going to go ahead and ship that. And we're going to see who else we've missed, because we have missed a few animals. There we go. There we have Mill Tank. So we haven't fed the cows or sheep yet, because we're going to go ahead and do this. But don't worry, we do go back and feed them, unlike a previous episode. But for now, we are going to be turning the medium milk into hot milk, which is exactly what we have done before. We have done all of the recipes that are available to us. That can impact your 100% score, because I believe in certain versions of the game there are, I think, 12 recipes that are actually missing. And I'm not entirely sure for the reasoning of that. Maybe translation errors, I'm not sure. But I know that there are 12 recipes are missing from the certain versions of the game. That was a really long drawn out way of saying that, I do apologise. But as you can see, we have of course made hot milk before. So we're going to go ahead and make 4 hot milks, and these are going to be, again, in preparation for when our child, or our baby, turns into a toddler rather. So with the magic of video games and video game logic, this hot milk does go in the fridge, and it does allegedly stay hot in the fridge for, you know, months. And you don't want to keep hot milk in the fridge for months, but there you go. Video game logic for you. So we've got one more to turn into hot milk. It also has this weird purpley tinge to it. If your milk has a weird purpley tinge to it, I would say perhaps not drink it. We have discussed before how some of the recipes in this game look really janky and not something that you would probably want to try. In any event, we're going to go ahead and put those into the fridge, and then we're going to get back to the barn and feed the animals. So as I say, we currently have 4 medium milks, but because I've left this for as long as I have, the cows are growing up obviously quite quickly, so they're going to turn into a large milk soon. So we're not going to have medium milk forever, which is why I'm taking advantage of it now. So let's get back on and feed everybody. We can throw food about if we want to. I think we just wasted some there. But we have enough grass outside that it doesn't really matter if we end up wasting hay at all. And now let's get on with the rest of the day. So here we are grabbing some more fish. Again, I'm not sure of the exact number, but I do have it written down. And what we're really trying to be careful of is to not take so many fish from the pond that there are none in the pond. Because again, I can't remember when they reproduce, as it were. We have 51 in there at the moment. I can't remember when they reproduce. I don't know if it's when they're frozen over during winter. I really can't remember. But we do want to try and keep a healthy stock in the pond as well. So, saying that, let's do a big fast forward here and fish for a little while. I will admit, fishing is not my favourite thing in this game, but we are doing it for the fish prints. And to get the final fish print, we are talking a little bit ahead here in the playthrough. I believe you have to fish from the Mother's Hill pond to get the final fish print, and you have to have all the other previous fish prints in order to do that. Now, oh, my voice is going again. Now, the sort of little issue we have with that is that the Mother's Hill pond is frozen during winter, but there is a little patch that you can fish from. So I am hoping that we can get the fish print from that little patch. Because if not, we won't be able to get that fish print by the end of the playthrough, because we won't be going past winter. So we are going to head back out. We've just took some of the rubbish out of the cabinet. I hope that makes sense, but we'll have to wait and see as we go along whether we can actually achieve that final fish print. So now we're going to go ahead and fish some more on the beach. We have just got rid of all the rubbish. I think we did get 1 or 2 fish on the farm. You can only get small fish from the river in your farm, of course. Don't think we got any on the beach. So we've got rid of all the rubbish. We're now coming back to the inn just to see if that random event will happen again. And unfortunately, it doesn't. So with that, we're going to head back out and presumably head back to the farm. And again, if we are unable to get to that final fish print by the time this playthrough ends, I assume at one point, but I can't say when, there will be a little bonus episode where we just wrap up everything we haven't managed to do. So if there's any random events that we haven't managed to see, for example, I've said before, there is a random event in year 4 and there is one random event in year 5. Obviously, you won't see them during this playthrough, but it will take me a while to play all of year 4 and all of year 5 off camera, of course. So at one point, I will show the random events that you won't get to see in this playthrough. I will also show us getting the final power berry from the horse race, potentially getting the final fish prints that we need if we don't finish that during this playthrough. And I believe that would probably be everything. Maybe a couple of random events that we haven't managed to see, such as the one at the inn. But yeah, there will be a bonus episode at one point. I just can't say when that is. So it is day 14, of course. It's nice and sunny tomorrow. So let's get on and start our day. So, we got any mail? Of course we haven't. We are going to go ahead and start off in the barn today. And again, we are going to be gathering that medium milk. Of course, we do still need to work on, which we're working on every day, getting all of the heart levels up so everybody has 10 hearts. So all of the chickens have 10 hearts, so that's all sorted. The cows and sheep don't all have 10 hearts, so hopefully we can get 10 hearts on everybody by the end of the playthrough. That does impact your percentage score. 10 hearts with your child also impacts your percentage score. We have 10 hearts. Like I say, we've completed that for the chickens, for the dog, for the horse, and for Potpourri. They're all on 10 hearts, so that is done for those. But we do still have to work on getting all the hearts for everybody else. And you can't start getting hearts with your child until they have grown. I say fully grown, they only grow into a child. They don't grow any further than that. So back out again, we haven't fed everybody yet. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this into hot milk again. We have 3 this time instead of 4, so as you can see, in the space of me starting to do this, one of the cows has moved into the large milk territory, which means their heart level has gone up. So that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because I'm doing this a little bit too late. I can use large milk, of course, that's not an issue, but I am going to go ahead and try and use all of the medium milk that I can for now. So while we have a little bit of time, while I'm doing the hot milk, I do have a question for you. Of course, at one point, these episodes are going to stop, the playthrough is going to end, and we will have a gap in between times, and there's going to be space to obviously start a new playthrough. And I am leaning more towards another farming simulator, whether that be Harvest Moon, potentially something like Stardew Valley. I've never played Stardew Valley. There are, countless farming simulators out there. I think maybe I would like to stick with Harvest Moon, but really I don't mind. So I guess my question for you guys is, do you have a specific game in mind that you would like this playthrough replaced with? It doesn't mean that I'm going to definitely do that, but it's nice to have some ideas to keep in mind. Because of course the whole point of these playthroughs is for you guys to watch them, so if you do have anything that you 100% wanted to see, then please let me know, and I will maybe make a list or just, bear it in mind. I do also have a Discord, which I have linked, so if you want to talk more on Discord about it, then feel free to do that if you have a Discord yourself. But yes, whatever you're comfortable with, let me know. So we're moving on to the hothouse. Again, nothing has grown. It's been a while since anything's grown in the hothouse. We're going to grab the honey, feed the fish, and again move on to the chicken coop. Of course, nothing's grown on the farm just yet either. So what are we going to do with the rest of our day? Well, I just fed the fish twice by accident. That's not going to make a difference, but we are going to ship some fish. And with that, presumably, we're heading out to the beach for some more fishing. So of course it is a little bit repetitive, but this is what we need to do to try and get what we need to get. And this game of course can be quite repetitive because it is what it is. You guys know that if you've been watching for a very long time. I don't know, I was moving in circles there, wasn't I? So of course a big speed up here while we fish, and hopefully we can actually catch some. That would be wonderful because we've only caught rubbish for a long time. I wonder if the game is punishing us for shipping our fish from the pond, saying you're a terrible fish owner, so we will not give you any fish. I don't think that's how it works, but one never knows. So we've got nothing but tin cans at the moment. Which is exciting stuff, of course. Oh, we've got a boot. We've got something different. nothing. Every single thing that we fished up is rubbish. So that's nice and fun. But with that, we are going to head on back to the farm. And are we heading to bed? Yeah, it looks like it. So let's go ahead and start our final day of this episode, which is, of course, day 15. Okay, lovely. We are now on to day 15. We're going to do our usual routine, of course. You're used to it by now. Let's go ahead and check the weather. And it is going to be nice and sunny again tomorrow, which is wonderful news. So with that, let's head out and start our day. And here is Kai. Hey John, are you there? We are here indeed, yes. Let's see what Kai wants. Hey John, do you grow corn on your farm? How about selling me one? Unfortunately, we haven't grown any corn this year. So we are going to have to leave Kai where he is. We can't say no, but we can't give him a corn either. So I don't think we have any spare corn. So unfortunately, Kai, you can't have that. But that does mean that our pumpkins have grown. So there's going to be a big, big speed up here, shipping all of our pumpkins. And while we're here, we're going to feed the chickens and take care of the eggs. But yes, everything on our farm has now grown, all of the pumpkins. So let's go ahead and grab all of those. And we're actually not going to plant anything else on the farm right now. So nothing in the hothouse has grown in just yet. But we aren't going to be planting anything on the farm. So that means that looking after the farm will be a little bit quicker, because we're just going to be taking care of animals and the hothouse for the foreseeable, at least until fall/autumn. But we've done pretty well with our goal of 200 or more shipped. So I personally don't see the point in planting anything else. Now, if you were just doing it for money, of course, then it is worth planting. You know, definitely worth planting things. Obviously, this is a farming game, so there should be crops grown on the farm at all times, of course. But for me personally, it's not worth planting anything else at the moment. So we're going to have no crops on the farm for a little while, except the ones in the hothouse. I do wish that the pumpkins were orange in this game. I'm a sucker for an orange pumpkin, green pumpkin, green pumpkins not so much. So while we're in here, are we going to take care of all the animals? Yes, we are. And we do have some wool, as you can see, which is good. Because I think wool, as I've said before, is the one produce I think we're going to fail on in terms of having 200 or more shipped, the wool and the yarn. And so we had 4 medium milks, then we had 3 medium milks yesterday. And as you can see, today we only have 1 medium milk. So we're not going to be keeping medium milk for long at all. So with that, let's go ahead and feed everybody. we're going to go ahead and turn that medium milk into hot milk. We've got a couple more crops left. So let's go ahead and get those shipped. We're also going to ship some fish. And in we go. So let's make this milk into hot milk. So I think we should have maybe 8 in the fridge. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 in the fridge. As you can see, we're just going through some stats as well. But we'll have 8 milk in the fridge ready for when our baby grows into a child. And we are going to have to start using large milk, of course. This was just to get rid of the rest of the medium milk. So we've done this, we're going to pop it in the fridge, and I have a feeling that this might be close to the end of today's episode, this week's episode. So I'm going to say now, thank you very much for watching. As always, your support means the absolute world to me, and until next week, bye Embers.